What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today I will be doing another Roblox Studio developing tutorial. This is going to be an updated tutorial on how to make a basic CSG livery on Roblox. Yes, I know I've done one before and I still have it up on my channel, but I'm doing an updated one because the main reason is because that one I didn't really include enough steps and a lot of people got confused and the sound quality was just trash. So I'll be doing a whole nother tutorial on making a CSG livery, and I might as well include a few more steps like how to union and negate and union an animation without breaking it on a SkyTech plane, which it only works on SkyTech aircraft, by the way. Don't try it with any other plane. This is a SkyTech A320. Before you ask, it is from SkyTech and it costs 1,900 Robux. I'm not sure if it's still on sale because I think they're updating it. I'll leave the link to SkyTech down below. Anyways, apologies for the very long intro, let's just get started. So what we'll be doing today is a Lufthansa livery. I've got an image of one loaded up right here. So we want to if you can use like a color picking website or a website like paint.net to get the exact color that you want on your livery, but you know what, I'm just gonna YOLO and pick the best color. So let's try this one. Let's try this color. Yeah, this color right here looks good for the livery. So we've got the rudder and vertical stabilizer colored. But actually, so I'm not going to color the vertical stabilizer just yet. I will show you why. If you see over here, it's got a little bit of a line right here. This is like why we're going to have to do what I'm about to do right now. I'll explain it while I'm doing it. Let's start by getting a part right here. It doesn't really matter how you do this, it just matters, it's just for a starting point for the CSG Curve Cutter, which we'll be using a lot. So just have it so that it's kind of aligned right in the middle of the plane, and then maybe move it here, right in front of it, or anywhere is fine as long as it stays aligned the way it is. So I will also leave a link to the CSG Curve Cutter plugin, which is very necessary for doing CSG liveries like this. I'm using it right now. I've got it opened up. So to start off, you get the CSG Curve Cutter plugin. You have to click a surface and draw a plane. This is what I made this brick for. You just press it right here. Then you've got the axis right down the middle of the plane. So we're gonna start by doing this line right here. This line right behind the rudder. So it doesn't have to be exactly, but I'm gonna try to do this the best I can. Yeah, the problem is this horizontal stabilizer is kind of getting in the way, so it may be difficult, but all you have to do for this one is just scroll down right there. And then there you have it. And for curves on liveries, you can include this to do curves, but on this one we don't really have to. Let's try that again. There we go. So then we've got this. Alright, so now this is probably the thing that most people struggled with when doing this. I got so many questions asking about this. Please listen carefully. Many of you have tried to negate one of these while it was still grouped right there. You cannot negate a grouped model. This is what will happen. Right there. Many of you experienced that, so what you're gonna have to do is ungroup it. And at the moment I have only one part, but usually you'll have more than one, and once you ungroup it you'll have all the parts selected, and when you do, you'll just union them into one, and then you are free to negate it right there. And then you move the negative part maybe 50 studs away. You should have a set number of how many studs you want it. Then place a part right here. Cover almost the entire thing up except just a little bit right there. so that it's like that, and try to, maybe, just to be safe, make it the length of the aircraft. And then duplicate your negative part, union the duplicated part, like one of them, with this brick. And you see we've got one of these. Move that 50 studs. It doesn't matter how many studs, but maybe a set amount would be the best. I'm doing 50. And then you negate that. And then select both of the negative parts. Duplicate them multiple times. And now you are ready to start. For this one, I may only need to do one part. You hold Alt. Please remember this. You're gonna have to select, you're gonna have to union with each part one by one. So hold Alt, and then you can select a part that's inside the grouped model of the plane. Got that selected. Then move that one there. Duplicate it with Control D. And then move that one there. Then you have this. You've got two parts. If you see on my livery picture right here, this area is white, and if you union this with the negative, this part will appear. So this one right here stays white. Keep that one white, and then this one change to the color you want. And then start unioning. Select this, and then select one of the negative parts. Union the two. Then you've got that. Do the same here. Select this one. Union that with that. Move that there. Select the other one. Currently, since you union them with the negative, they are not in the plane model anymore, so you'll have to move them to the plane model. But as you see, we've got a line right there. And if you want, this is only optional, you can union the two parts together to make one part once again. Which I'll do right here. And then you'll have to move it back into the aircraft model. And in this case, this was in the fuselage before I unioned it with the negative, so I'm going to put it right back in there. Please remember that, that's very important. Then as you see, it's in the plane and moves along with it. And I'm just going to check real quick to see if there are any other parts I want to union to be able to get this, and I could do these parts, but I'm going to choose not to. So I do not need these anymore, because as you see, I've already got the line right there. So I do not need these anymore, but I'm going to have to create new ones really soon. More like now to be exact. Right now, I'm going to be doing this line right here. This color changing point, I do not know what to call it, sorry. So let's load up the curve cutter again, select the plane, and let's see. And now, we're gonna start up here. See this? We're just gonna like barely have a little bit of a curve right here. This is how you do curves. So if you have a livery with a curved part, like a curved part, this is how you do it. You just slowly put it down right there. You may have to redo it a couple times. Press B to undo a cut. Almost. And it's probably not going to be my best CSG livery, but this is just a tutorial to make a basic one. Yeah, I may have to try this a couple times. Yeah, try this. There we go. That looks like that's good enough for that one. It's not perfect, but it will do. So as you see, we've got a curved one, and this is something you'll probably have to encounter a few times, where the grouped parts do not cover up the plane or the rear of the plane, and it won't always cause problems, but it might. So if it does, it is a best idea to grab another part and include it right here, just to make sure you don't come across any problems or anything like that. Then do the same thing what you did last time. Grab these cut parts, ungroup them. Now we've got multiple ones, got multiple parts. Then union them. And then I would suggest unioning this one with that one. So now we've got this whole one. Then you are free to negate it. Move it 50 studs. And then do the same thing you did last time. I'm duplicating that so that I can easily get a part. And remember, both of the unions are no longer in the aircraft model, so you're gonna have to move them into the aircraft model. And for things like a vertical stabilizer, I'd suggest unioning the two unions together. Move them there, and then I'll move the union right into the model titled vertical stabilizer. It won't always be titled that. It depends on what aircraft you are using, but in this case with the SkyTech plane, it's titled vertical stabilizer, the model where it was. And we've got that. Next we'll do the same thing to get the line right here. That's right there. There you have it. Another step complete of making the CSG livery. Alright, I've got to union the two, move it on, then place it in the fuselage model. And then, so some aircraft, there's a chance you have an aircraft with a door frame, and the door frame isn't animated. So I'm just gonna take the door frame, put it there, do the same thing I did before. Every once in a while, I would suggest you test the game out just to make sure your CSG liveries did not break any animations, and so far it didn't. Also, if you use a SkyTech plane, there's a very low chance you'll break any animations as long as you follow my steps. So the doors still work, but I just wanted to remind you all of that, and let's just say SkyTech planes, they're pretty much made for CSG liveries. Now we are going to do a more complicated part. We'll be doing the doors. And as you saw right there, they're animated. You need to be very careful to not break the animations. So, I'll start with this door. First, you should see its name. Its name is weld part. I'm going to keep that in mind. The door, this part of the door, its name is weld part. And it's in this model, the RLD door. Then we're going to start by doing the same thing. Move the door there, clone it, do the color stuff. And then on this part, there's no option. You have to union them. So then take this union, name it weld part, or at least the name that it was, what it was named before you unioned it. In this case it was weld part. Move it back where it was, and then move it right, and move it into the same place it was earlier. In this case it was under door, which was under RLD. Then I'm gonna, best idea to test to make sure you didn't break the door. And it appears it did not break the door, it still works fine. We're gonna do the same thing with the other door. Gonna clone the negatives again a few times. Yep, we got the unions. We'll union them together again. Name it weld part. Place it right there. Finally, move it into the, which one was this? This was the This was the RRD, the rear right door. Yep. Sure enough, it works. One really important thing I forgot to mention, this only works for SkyTech aircraft. Not the whole thing I did, but the thing I did with the doors, the unioning with the door animations, that only works for SkyTech aircraft, at least in my knowledge. I've tried this with multiple other CSG aircraft with door animations, and it just broke the door animations. So that's why SkyTech aircraft are probably the best aircraft for CSG liveries, because you can actually union and negate animation parts without breaking the animations. So I'm comparing this to the picture, and wait, hold on, I'm not removing the negatives just yet. I'm gonna do these parts right here. I'm gonna do them. Oh wait, hold on. So if you, this is probably something I should show you, because as you saw, these do not go with these negatives. They actually went for a previous one, and this is probably a good time for me to make this mistake, because I can show you how to solve it. You do not have to make a whole new negative or start over. Just take one of these, clone it, like I did just now, take it right out of the aircraft model, separate it once, so now we've got both of them, and separate them both. Then, as you can see, the negatives are back. And then remove them. Now we are free to do it. There you have it. Now we've done everything we need with unioning and negating. Actually, not exactly, but more on that later. But with like the color changing and stuff, we've done everything we need to do on that. We've got a nice little stripe right there for the Lufthansa livery. Now I'm gonna add the logo. There are multiple ways you can like put a logo on a tail, but I'm gonna do this one because it's best for a Lufthansa livery. So start by grabbing a part. So this is just a random part. Remember, anchor it and turn off its collision. Please do that. Please remember to do that. Scale it so that it's as thin as possible. And then I've got a Lufthansa decal logo. I'm gonna take that and place it. So it placed itself right there. It's currently on the front, and if that's the front, from my point of reference, it should be on the left. Then you can see it right there. Then I'm gonna make the brick's transparency to 1 so you can't see it at all and you can just see the logo. Gonna move it right onto tail. Double check to make sure it's anchored and collide off. Then I'm gonna resize it to match how it looks there. And yes, it won't really be perfectly aligned with the tail and stuff like that. Won't be the perfect size either, but it will work. Yeah, that's good enough for the logo. So now, clone it, rotate it twice, and yes, so I'm gonna have to upload another logo with it facing the other way. Okay, so I've uploaded a different version of the logo, which is facing the other way, so I just changed the decal ID to that one. I may have to bring it a little bit farther back. I have to do the same with this one, but yeah, and then take both of the logo parts and put them like in the other parts or body model of the plane. Like that. So it comes with the plane. It's in the plane model now. So that's the logo. Now for the text. This part I'll have to explain very carefully, I think. So clone one of the fuselage parts, this, and then I'm gonna take it right out of the model. Now it's in workspace. So I'm gonna start by separating it a few times. So I've separated it until I got this cylinder. You just want a cylinder, a hollow cylinder for this. Here's my picture of the livery. I want the text to be somewhat like that size. So I'm just gonna have to eyeball it and try a few times to do this. You'll probably understand what I'm doing once you see it. So now we've got all these parts. I'm gonna negate them all. You can union them as a negative too, but only if you want. I'm not going to at the moment. So yeah, I'm gonna take all the negatives and now I'll union them to the cylinder. So now I've got this part. Now I'm gonna grab my Lufthansa text decal. Let's put it right on the left. And I'm actually, you may have to try this a couple times, but I'm happy with how it is placed. I'm just gonna double check to make sure it's good. Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can resize it. Yeah, I can resize it. Best if you want, you can do that. I'm gonna make it fully transparent. Now position it to fit somewhere on there. Like I said earlier, it does not have to be extremely perfect. But if it looks somewhat like the livery you want, it should be fine. A few adjustments. I think that is good enough for the text. Do the same thing you did with the logo. You're gonna rotate it twice. No wait, clone it first. Now rotate it twice. Then put it on the other side. Then take both, wait, remember, so they're already anchored, but turn collide off. I'd highly suggest you do that, because you don't want the logos to like collide. You've got the fuselage for that. Then place them in body or other parts depending on your plane. In this case it's named body. There is your text. This is optional. If you've got like a registration text here, you can change it to what you want. I'll do that right here. Do the same thing right here. Also, just like the Lufthansa livery, I'll add a German flag right beside it. Then that should be good. There we go. And then, guess what? There you have it. There is your CSG livery. If you had problems following my previous tutorial, I really hope this one helped. And also got all your questions answered. It's never a bad idea to test your plane, but after you do your livery, so that to make sure it works fine. This one does appear to be working just fine. It's got the animations. It's got the engine animations too. And if you have any other questions, let me know in the comments. I'll try to respond to them as soon as I can. And if I didn't respond my last livery video, that's because that video like blew up and I got so many comments. But I'll try to respond to you next time. Also let me know what you think of this livery. It may not be my best work, but I'm kind of proud of it. Anyways, thank you for watching this tutorial. Like I said earlier, I hope it helped you out with making CSG liveries, and let me know if you want to see a mesh livery tutorial. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.